returning home earlier than expected from a business trip. I wasn't anticipating anything more dramatic than a surprise dinner with my wife. The delay in my flight had worn on me, and rather than spending another soulless night in a hotel room, I caught the first available flight back. My thoughts had been warm, even romantic. I imagined waking her gently with a kiss, making her coffee in the morning, whispering that I had missed her. Something simple, intimate, true. The drive home was uneventful. Familiar streets lit by the amber glow of streetlights. Everything quiet, at least outside. But when I turned into the driveway, a chill of unease snaked down my spine. Parked beside our garage was a sleek black Audi. Not unfamiliar, not a stranger's. No, it belonged to Chris. The kind of man who wore designer cologne and a smirk, always trying a little too hard to be respected, desired. The moment I saw that car, a cold dread settled in my gut like lead. I shut off the engine and sat in stillness, watching the soft glow from the living room window flicker against the curtains. She wasn't expecting me. That was clear. And I, for the first time, felt something shift within me, an instinct too sharp to ignore. Gripping my suitcase, I moved to the front door in silence, every footstep measured, heart pounding louder with each one. Just as I reached for the handle, I heard it. Her voice, my wife's voice, soft, teasing, tinged with laughter and command. "Stop it," she giggled. Then, unmistakably, a man's voice followed. "You don't want to stop. In fact, I don't even want to wait until we get to the bedroom. We'll do it right here on the back of this couch. Just take off your panties, because last time they cheated me." The word struck me like a punch to the gut, immediate, visceral. My vision blurred for a second as the reality slammed into me. This wasn't a nightmare. This wasn't imagination. This was real, happening, in my house. The air felt thinner. My lungs refused to obey. For a moment, I stood paralyzed, unable to move, unable to breathe. Then something inside me clicked. Not rage, not sorrow, but a cold, unflinching clarity. I pushed open the door. Hard. It crashed against the wall with a force that made both of them freeze in place like statues caught mid-act. The room stank of lust and betrayal. The heat still hung in the air, thick and undeniable. There she was, Sophia, half-dressed, blouse unbuttoned, the lacy black bra I bought her years ago peeking through. Her hair tousled, her lips flushed. Chris stood just behind her, belt undone, one hand still arrogantly resting on her hip. For a breathless moment, no one spoke. Then she stammered, wide-eyed and pale, "Honey, I can explain." But Chris, that smug bastard, chuckled, completely unbothered. "You should have called. We would have saved you a seat." That was it. 3 strides and my fist connected with his jaw. He stumbled backward, crashing into the coffee table with a groan. Sophia screamed, stumbling out of the way as I yanked him up by the collar and slammed him against the wall. The smirk was gone. In its place, fear. "You have 5 seconds to get the hell out of my house," I said, voice low and even, all emotion stripped to the bone. He looked to Sophia, searching for an ally, a lifeline. She stood paralyzed. I shoved him toward the door, watching him scramble like the coward he was, half-dressed, tripping over his shoes, blood trailing from his lip. I followed him onto the porch, my voice cutting through the night air. "If I ever see you again, I won't stop at one punch." He didn't speak, just ran. Tires screeched as he peeled away into the darkness. When I turned back, Sophia stood in the doorway, arms wrapped around herself like a child, her blouse barely covering the shame she now wore like a second skin. Her eyes were wide, brimming with panic. She knew. She had crossed a line that could never be uncrossed. "I can explain," she whispered. A cold, humorless laugh escaped me. "Oh, you will," I said, brushing past her. I didn't go to our bedroom. I took my suitcase to the guest room, a room she had always dismissed as irrelevant, a room she now understood was symbolic, because that was where her punishment would begin, not in anger, not in violence, but in silence, in the heavy, unbearable weight of everything she was about to lose. That night, I said nothing more, and in the morning, I continued the same. Brewed my coffee, scanned my messages, She emerged hesitantly, eyes swollen, nerves raw. "Good morning," she tried cautiously. I was hoping we could talk." I didn't look up. "I'm busy." Her jaw clenched. She was used to control, to being adored, acknowledged. "I don't understand what you want from me," she snapped. "I told you. It didn't mean anything." I met her gaze finally, expression blank. "And I told you." I said slowly, "You're going to learn what it feels like to lose everything." That was day one. From that moment forward, I erased her, not with rage, but with indifference. No shouting, no insults, just absence. If she spoke, I walked away. If she cried, I remained unreadable. At first, she scoffed, rolled her eyes, tried to reclaim her pride. But as days passed, the cracks in her facade grew. By the end of the week, she broke. "Why won't you yell at me?" she shouted one night. "Why won't you just say something?" I leaned against the counter, cool and unmoved. "You don't deserve my anger," I said. She didn't. She deserved something worse. Silence. The space where my love used to live now became her prison. And I didn't stop there. Sophia thrived on social approval. Brunches, gossip, curated smiles, admiration. So I let the truth bleed into the cracks of her perfect image. A few careful words in the right ears. A single shift in my social media captions. Muted sorrow where there had once been pride. People noticed. Her friends noticed. The whispers began. And when her best friend finally asked, "Sophia, is it true that you cheated on him?" she went pale. She asked, "Who told you that?" But her friend just offered an apologetic shrug. People are talking. And just like that, the glamorous image she built crumbled into dust. Still, I wasn't done. When she was isolated and reeling, I delivered the final blow. Divorce. The moment I said the word, she went still. "No, you can't just throw everything away." I laughed. "You threw it away when you let another man touch you in our home." Tears filled her eyes. "I love you." "No," I said softly. "You love what I gave you. Now you have nothing." The next morning, she looked like a ghost. And when she opened the divorce papers, her hands trembled. "You're really doing this? You thought I wouldn't? I thought we could fix this." I stepped forward. "You weren't fixing anything when you moaned for him on our couch." She flinched. "Good." I told her she had 30 days to move out. No exceptions. I stopped the grocery deliveries. Canceled every subscription in her name. The cleaning service, the spa days, the auto pays. She was no longer living in the home I made for us. She was surviving in it. Miserably. One night, she snapped, "Are you trying to make my life hell?" I sipped my whiskey, unfazed. "I'm just showing you what hell looks like." And then, her job. She'd gotten it through my connections, my guidance. I knew people at her firm. All it took was a carefully worded message. Soon enough, her bosses had proof. Emails, missed hours, secret meetups during company time. She came home white-faced, voice hollow. I lost my job. I feigned sympathy. "Shame. You did this." I looked her dead in the eye. "No, Sophia, you did this." When she finally began packing her things, she still lingered, still clung to the delusion that she might win me back. "Maybe we could try counseling," she whispered one night. I stared at her, then chuckled. We had something real. That something died when you open your legs for someone else. Her composure broke. She was unraveling. Perfect. And on the night before she left, I hosted a party. Our closest friends. Colleagues. Neighbors. She came downstairs, confused. "What is this?" I raised my glass. "A toast." Then I pulled out my phone. Hit play. The video. Their video. Her moaning. Laughing. His voice. His hands. The room went silent. Gasps. Murmurs. Disbelief. She did this to him in their own home. She stood in the doorway, trembling, her world shattering. "Please stop," she whispered. I tilted my head. "Why?" Embarrassed. She ran, and she never recovered. Her job gone. Her reputation destroyed. Her friends vanished. And me? I moved on to a better house, a better life, a better woman. Last I heard, Sophia was bouncing between cheap apartments, haunted by the ghosts of everything she lost, everything she threw away. And I never raised my voice. Not once. Revenge didn't come in fire or fury. It came in silence, in the quiet dismantling of the life she took for granted. And it was beautiful